Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of skycams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Hello there. Welcome to WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. We always have to do a little scooch.
Right.
I think it's because I'm used to standing on that side. And so when you're here, for some reason, I'm standing like in the middle because I don't know where the spot is on this side.
We got to take
that's got. I know, but this feels like so far over.
It does, but it looks right.
Yeah.
It looks better this way.
It looks much better this way.
Yeah, let me talk
Here's some views from our First Alert Skycam network on this lovely Thursday. I got to tell you, now at this time, because now we're getting into like that heart of the heat, it doesn't feel as comfortable. But earlier around 11 or lunchtime, even though it was hot, it still felt good outside to me.
I actually agree. Coming into work, walking into the building, sometimes it's like a soupy walk. It was nice this morning.
Yeah.
It's getting a little more dry.
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But for now, we're not entirely dry across the area. We have a little bit of cloud cover and we have some heat index values slightly warmer than what the actual temperatures are. The actual conditions outside in those lower 90s for most of the area. A few spots still hanging on to those upper 80s and those are also spots where we saw a little bit of rain earlier. You know, that the Carthage area and eastern Atala County, they were seeing quite a bit of showers this morning, as well as the Belzona area. So they're hanging on to those 80s. The rest of us around 90. Doesn't necessarily feel like that though. Heat index values warming into those lower hundreds. You're not expected to get too much warmer than this today. We're not under a heat advisory or anything, but definitely still kind of muggy towards the afternoon.
It's a little muggy, but this is still an improvement from where we have been.
That's
where it was feeling 15 to 20 degrees hotter than the air temperature versus 8 or 10.
That's exactly right. As we have those dew points, thankfully in those kind of lower 70s. These are the showers that I was talking about. We're seeing some of that in Hinds County now. Also over to Warren, Vicksburg, seeing quite a few showers as well as Natchez. But other than that, mostly dry across the area, just like we saw on the Skycam or Skycam network, rather. Just a lot of cloud cover out there. This afternoon, we're expecting conditions to stay very similar to what they are right now, warming into around 92 degrees, but still seeing those stray showers, keeping a few spots slightly cooler, but also keeping those spots a little muggier as well, where they're adding that moisture into the atmosphere. And I know that some people are getting their 4th of July festivities kicked off tonight. So this is what you can expect that to be like. Stray showers dissipating after sunset, temperatures warming into those mid to lower 70s. Into the late night hours. Waking up tomorrow morning will be in the 70s, but overall we should be clear. Patchy fog possible, but if you have fireworks planned for this evening, you'll most likely be in the clear.
I think so too, and it looks like that's going to be the case for the actual 4th of July tomorrow as well. Yes. So while we do have a few isolated showers, you may recall yesterday I spent all day showing the really, really dramatic model that had us seeing like pretty hefty storms this afternoon, because I would prefer that you see that and then it not rain on you than me show you that it's not going to rain. and then you get rained on. You know
Right.
what I mean,
That's a great point.
I would rather people be prepared than PO'd.
Yeah, that's what I've been kind of showing. That's why I've been showing throughout the morning, mid-morning till early afternoon. We're also seeing a few models show some isolated storms for your 4th of July. And especially towards the afternoon. We're expecting to be mostly dry, but see kind of like this in the early evening hours, we could see a stray storm or two. So I'm not going to say everything is 100% clear. Everyone's fireworks show is going to go off perfectly. We could see some stray storms, especially closer to the coast. Most of us staying dry, but the last couple model runs, pretty much since I got to work around 10, we've been Graph and HRRR, they've been showing that towards the coast.
Yeah, and that's where you're still going to hang on to a little bit more moisture than the rest of the area. We did have that cold front yesterday, but Southwest Mississippi, and as you get along that Highway 84 corridor, was always expected to maybe hold on to at least a little more moisture than the rest of us. In any event, it doesn't really get dark enough to shoot fireworks until about 9 o'clock. So even if there are some showers, maybe they impact you sitting out, setting things up, but they're not going to keep you from actually enjoying the fireworks shows anywhere across central Mississippi tomorrow.
Right. Maybe have a large umbrella for your cookout.
If
you're grilling around 5 p.m., then that might be a little bit of an issue, but
only for a few people though.
Right. Into the evening, we're going to be clear. And most of us, once again, are not going to see rain. Just going to put that out there. It's possible, especially if you live in the southernmost counties. And then things clearing out as we head into your overnight period and into the weekend. So once again, another look at the temperatures for the 4th of July. It's going to be slightly warmer, but thankfully we're still dealing with low humidity conditions, just like we mentioned a moment ago. That cold front that passed through earlier in the week, or yesterday rather, it's giving us those drier conditions. So even though it is technically warmer outside, it won't feel like it as much as we still have those heat index values, lower 100s to upper 90s, temperatures kind of warming into the mid 90s. And then in the evening, of course, as the time actually comes for the fireworks, a little bit cooler, mid 80s possible as we get towards 8, 9 p.m. after sunset. Stray showers dissipating as we get towards sunset as well.
Yeah, and then your actual weekend days, maybe you're like us and you got to work on the 4th of July, so you're missing out on the long weekend part of things. That's okay, no complaints, right? But if you only have the actual 2 weekend days, they also look pretty decent. Still some teeny tiny baby rain chances, but most places are going to be dry. I still feel like Saturday could be a little hotter than the mid 90s. I think quite a few places will at least make it to 96, 97 degrees, which is technically upper 90s. Sunday would expect to start seeing things trend down because it was looking like we were going to start to get some relatively more widespread rain in the picture by then. And then that was the trend that was going to carry us into next week. But in general, it's still going to be hot. It's not going to be that muggy, but it will still be a little muggy on your weekend days and mostly dry.
We're definitely expecting more mugginess to set in throughout the work week. So if you track the moisture this weekend, we're seeing still less humid conditions with those cooler colors across parts of western Mississippi especially, but that changes heading into our next work week. Monday, Tuesday, we expect more moisture to surge, and that's going to bring back muggy conditions into the area. But that's here in central Mississippi. It's a little bit more active over parts of the coast, especially the East Coast in the Atlantic Ocean. It's because we are tracking the tropics with you right now, and we are seeing some higher chances, pretty mid-range chances of seeing a tropical depression actually develop over the East Coast over the next couple of days. Now, the chance in the next 2 days, 20%, but the next week, 50%. So especially after Sunday, from the Florida Atlantic coast all the way up towards the Carolinas, we could see a low forming into potentially a tropical depression or a subtropical depression over the next few days. This is kind of what we expect that to look like. So still fairly scattered rainfall, but then as we get towards the end of the weekend, we expect that to possibly kind of develop even more into a little bit of a tropical system heading to the start of our next week. But that's, of course, not affecting us here on the coast. Or in the Gulf Coast. That's the eastern coast. But here in central Mississippi, we'll be dealing with a different type of scattered showers, kind of the more typical afternoon kind that we see in the summer towards the end of our next week.
Yeah, so until we get there, not as muggy, still hot, not as rainy. A few of you could see a light shower, maybe a thunderstorm. That's going to be a better chance for that today than the next 2 days. And then next week, better rain chances on the way. So we'll answer a few comments here. Sheila Denise Scott, one of our loyal viewers. Happy 4th of July. What great people to tell us about the weather. Thank you, Sheila. What a great viewer you are. And Fanny Lane says it's cloudy in downtown Sturgis. Hopefully you get some breaks from the clouds. Linda Winslow, hello to you.
If she wants them.
If she wants
You know,
them. Well,
it
she's got a little sad face, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Sad face? I can't tell.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
No, honestly, with a little bit more cloud cover today.
A little bit.
Hopefully you don't get rained on.
Yeah. Hopefully you miss out on the rain there. If you don't, just keep in mind, if you see the rain, it's going to be relatively short-lived. But Annea's going to be on, potentially, Studio 3 here in just a little while.
Yes, if we have time.
If they got time
we
for
plan
her.
to be on.
If not, she'll be on WLBT News at 4 and 4:30. I'm in for Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts today and tomorrow. And if you don't have time to watch any of that, but you have time to get on your cellular, then you can catch us back here. Well, me back here at 6:30. So you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. Go get those long weekends started and stay safe during your 4th of July plans.